The girls quietly climbed in the van. Amy slammed the trunk closed and started the 3-day drive from Washington, D.C. back to the Mountain West. She had done it. She had finally left him. After 5 years of living in constant fear that he might in some way hurt her or her 3 girls, she had finally left him. She thought about the challenges that lay ahead. There had been emotional and psychological trauma for her and her daughters, Kira, Jessie, and Gabby. But it was worth it to be able to raise her 3 girls away from the addictions and abuse. She had been to college, but it had been 4.5 years since she had last had a job, and she'd never actually used her degree. Amy qualified for food stamps and Medicaid. These government programs were a lifeline, but they were also a crutch. To continue to qualify, she had to stay in a low-paying job. There was nothing to help her transition off of the government assistance to a better life. Amy was stuck. Amy's not alone in her struggles as a single mother in this country. There are over 11 million single parents in the United States. Since over 80% of these are single mothers, my talk's going to focus on their struggles. Of course, everything that I share today applies to all single parents, mothers and fathers. So you're probably thinking, Dave, you're not a single parent. Why are you talking about this? Because Amy is my fiance. We first met when we were 18 years old. We then went our separate ways for 12 years. During that time, she got into a bad marriage and finally left 4 years ago. Mutual friends brought us back together 2 years ago. Finally, this last Christmas, I asked Amy to marry me. Because this relationship was more than just her and me, I wanted Kira, Gabby, and Jessie to be there for the proposal. Then, one at a time, I got down on one knee, put a little ring on each of their fingers, and asked them if I could be their dad. They said yes. I am the luckiest man in the world to have these amazing girls in my life. Hearing about Amy's struggles as a single mother has been so frustrating because there's so much that can be done. For this talk, I'm going to share all that I've learned about why single mothers struggle to escape poverty and how college and childcare assistance can help. There are 4 key numbers you should remember from this talk. The first is 1 in 4. 1 in 4 children in the United States is raised by a single mother. This is in large part due to the growing trend of children being born out of wedlock, divorce, and abandonment due to substance abuse. More than 1/3 of single mother households live in poverty. For the second key number, $1.9 billion. The government provides $1.9 billion in food stamps every year to single mothers. That's a market size that'd make any venture capitalist drool. These government programs do so much to help these single mothers get back on their feet. Unfortunately, even though they're intended to be temporary, there are no incentives to help people get off of them. So I've learned college is critical to help these single mothers escape poverty. The Institute for Women's Policy Research has done a ton of research on single mothers. They have shown single mothers with a college degree get significantly better jobs, make more money, and have better health. And all of these benefits trickle down to their children as well. Now for the third key number, $30,000. $30,000 is the average net gain the government could get if they were to help a single mother earn a bachelor's degree. If the government were to provide childcare assistance, financial aid, and a caseworker to these single mothers, ultimately, they would come out ahead in the additional tax benefits and tax revenue from the higher paying job for that single mother. $30,000 ahead. And that's not even considering all the benefits that come to the children of these single mothers. The last piece of this puzzle is childcare. For a mother to be able to go back to school, she needs help raising her kids. But childcare is expensive. On average, a single mother will spend a quarter to a third of her income on childcare. The government used to provide childcare assistance to single mothers while they were in college. But during the welfare reforms of the mid-90s, the government stopped providing childcare assistance to students. Enrollment of single mothers in college plummeted. For those single mothers who have access to childcare assistance, their likelihood of graduating on time triples. Now for the final key number, 49%. Only 49% of college campuses have childcare centers on campus. There's a government program that helps support these childcare centers, but it's obviously not nearly large enough. Now that I've shared these startling statistics with you, we need to act on this. Let's think about those single mothers in our life and make sure that they are welcomed on every college campus. Every college campus should have a child care center on campus. Do you know if the GSB has child care? If not, ask the administration so that they know you care. I've talked with the GSB. Stanford has child care for both students and faculty. For colleges that are so concerned about diversity and inclusion, by not making it possible for single mothers to attend college, they are missing out on this key group of individuals. As a side note, we as future business leaders need to make sure it's feasible for single mothers to join us in the workplace. Second, support the single mothers in your life. These amazing women have done so much to raise children and taking on the parenting roles of two people. Talk with them about their struggles and ask how you can help. Finally, there needs to be a government policy change. The government should provide child care assistance and other support to every single mother that's in college. This financially and socially makes sense. So in conclusion, remember there are 4 key numbers: 1 in 4, $1.9 billion, $30,000, and 49%. That 49% should be 100%. So what's the rest of Amy's story? Amy is getting her master's in public administration and is working for a government city management office. She didn't have access to childcare through her college, but luckily her parents helped her take care of her girls. Amy wants to help underserved single mothers gain access to college and to childcare. She and I are working on a nonprofit to push for these initiatives as well as push for government policy change. In her words, I don't see this as a hand out, but as a hand up, so that single mothers are on an equal playing field. Single mothers, like Amy, are raising many of the future generation, and they deserve a fair chance. Thank you.